Hi, we have with us Khaldoum Zreik. He is from Paris 8 University from France. And hello, Khaldoum. It was very nice to have you here. You gave us a very interesting talk. Your speech was a little bit of theoretical and philosophical at the same time. So I want you a little bit to elaborate on the main ideas of your talk.
Thank you, George. My talk is kind of to invite people to think about heritage and information, cultural information in different way, to free themselves of traditional spaces and times. This is the main idea, that we can imagine that people can consume cultural information in other spaces and in other times than this traditional one. I respect a lot all these traditional spaces and times. They are very good and they are very successful. But we discover that consumer, via serious games that you know very well, with other applications, social networks, they are interested in cultural information and they deal with it in different way. And even they invent their own way to consume and produce cultural information. They tag it, they share it, they enrich it, they augmented it. So in the future and for the next generation, especially the digital native generation, I think there will be the museum, something very important, traditional and classic, and will be a new kind of development, processing and consuming cultural information. Maybe it's the first idea. The second idea is to review the way we see the human of the consumer. Very often we used to consider them as constant, or they are variable. The more we produce technology, the more the user change his behavior and the way he deals with the technology. And we are living in an era where technology are spying the user and user spying technology. They have a dialogue between them and they are progress together. It's very complex for traditional methodology and way of development application or design application. But we are living also in an era where everything should be continued. So we accept that the application is not finished. The information is not finished, and we don't need any more a closed or finished application or information. The people need to live in continue in this area.
So I get your point. So what do you actually see coming in the future? You see different kind of systems, different kind of approaches towards new media, new techniques. How can we actually envision, view what's coming?
Thank you for this question. I'm very delighted that you asked me, but with a little bit of modesty, I can't answer it immediately. What's happening is we are living in a period of learning, exploring, experimenting. 2 or 3 years ago, we thought that video will disappear. Since 2 or 3 years, video is very important. It's come back.
Still here, yes.
So people are experimenting. Something they will keep it. Something will change. And this conversation between technology, people, and information are very interesting. And they are changing all the time. And this is the challenge. They want to change all the time. The question is, will we have a kind of stability? Nobody wants stability. The market doesn't want stability. A human doesn't want stability, and information is developing information.
It's all about changing all the time, developing. Yes,
it's a way we have to adapt ourselves for this kind of things. It's not very complex. Human being can be adapted, and it's an amazing era we are living. Very interesting. Maybe the problem is today we have 2 different cultures.
So what you are pointing out actually is that we should keep our eyes open and monitor what's going on.
Absolutely. Technology observe human, the user observe technology, information observe both of them. Every observation generate information and generate new technology and new behavior. So it's amazing, really.
You are using some kind of a Heisenberg, let's say, approach that when you're observing something, you're changing something. I don't know.
It's meant, I think, everybody look for this area, and I believe that everything we are living in it today is not perfect. And our culture used to say everything is perfect, and there's sort of dogmatic culture which we don't want to change them. So the citizenship use technology to inform political, responsible,
entertainment,
everybody. That
yes.
I'm looking for change. I would like to change. Somewhere I'm nomad. I don't want to live in a stable and fixed and constant environment. A lot of things that you said, this is like that. I saw with technology we can do it in different way. So for this, they use technology, they appropriate technology to force designers, political and government to change things. Today we are living in a time you can question everything. If you say everything, why we do that, nobody is surprised.
Yes.
And that doesn't mean that we have to change everything, but maybe we can review and reread a lot of things.
So,
and I appreciate very much this conference. Very multidisciplinary.
Yes.
Ideas, people coming from everywhere, with a lot of application.
And a lot of perspectives. You have people from various, disciplines that actually convey their own kind of vision to this new world that's coming in this field.
I believe you present a lot of tools and application that could be very useful to experiment and use to explore more capacity, as you said yesterday, and capabilities that the human have and we are not aware about them.
So do you see systems coming in that are going to be smarter, are going to be observing the users and rearranging themselves and producing something that possibly is more personalized or better adapted to the audience or something like that? Do your concerns go that way, that we should change the way that we see the systems and how they are working in this world? I suppose you see the other way also.
We dream to
the
do
users.
That. It's our dream and our aim, but actually it's very complex and very it's a kind of I will be very pretender to say yes.
Oh, yes.
What we are doing, we are trying to work as much as we can with the user. We adopt some kind like human-centered design and to make application to understand things. So it's progressive online application.
Do you see that going into educational applications?
We have in our team people are very interested in education. This is a huge question. We have discussion about it yesterday. The question of education, we know in Europe especially, traditional schools are not really very successful. A lot of people are leaving schools today. It's an important observation. We didn't dare to talk about them before. Now with e-learning, distance learning, we can discuss this issue.
Or that gamification thing going on, we have many things being tested in education actually. You're right.
I think the next generation of system will be the most easiest and simple application. Most of the application are very complicated and they have too much information. It's for the designer of application like computer scientists or others, it's very difficult today to stop because people need that. And the thing to find how to manage this all information in a simple application.
Since we're talking about the future, How do you see the Internet of Things coming in and, ambient intelligence, ubiquitous computing, hidden technology around us? Do you see that as a good step? Is it going towards the way that you envision?
It's too early.
Too early
to say, but they are here. We can change, and really they have excellent application. Exactly. They are amazing. Sometimes good use of things is excellent, excellent.
So thank you very much, Khaldoum, for being with us.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your
invitation.
Thank you.